The point of this is absolutely not safety.
All right. We are live. We're back to poor people quality. My roommate got a job. So this is just temporary for this week. Hopefully we should be back back in business with the high quality and the outro music. I know you guys are really big on our outro song.
I'm super sad that we don't have that.
Go ahead and click the volume button on that. Just up here so we know. Okay, we have volume. We have sound. We can hear. Okay. Welcome back to the Wednesday Night Paddler Podcast.
You are Ed.
I'm Ed.
I am Jeremy.
It's been a while. It's been 2 weeks. I don't remember anything.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's when I just wipe your memory holidays.
Yeah, it's been a while. We're back. We're happy to be back. We're looking forward to doing this again until Christmas time.
Yeah.
But without further ado, hopefully people start showing up soon. We'll go ahead and start reading our events. So there is a sale, I think, maybe on Jackson Kayaks at Whitewater Warehouse.
Oh, yeah. Allegedly.
It's on their previous year's models, so all the new models are not on sale. But all the old stuff they are trying to get rid of and are on sale.
So if you're looking for Antics 2 and stuff like that,
yeah,
it's your time.
I think they have a couple Antics 2s, but they're probably both larges.
Larges.
I don't know though. They definitely have Antics 3s, which if you want one, you should go get it.
I highly recommend it too. They're not part of the sale as far as I know.
Speaking of Whitewater Warehouse,
yes.
December 6th, this Saturday, is the Frozen Pogie Paddle at noon o'clock. So there will be a paddle on the mat, and then everyone will come back and enjoy chili and all
Gerald's
sorts of,
doing a bunch of cool stuff.
all sorts
like
of
that.
good food.
She's doing food. There's a couple of us and I know Gerald has a bunch downloaded, but we have a bunch of retro kayak paddling films that she's going to screen in the background. So, and if you don't know what those are, there's a whole bunch of excellent old videos, and keep in mind most of these were shot on VHS camcorders and stuff that are giant, and people carried these in their boats, which just makes it that much cooler.
Yeah.
But like the Paddle Snake series, Lunch Video Magazine, which is actually a video, they had a publication that went with it. But Scott Lengren Productions, SLP, there are a lot of original literally before YouTube and everything else. And a lot of it's in the Southeast. So, kind of our nearby stomping grounds and rivers you all run. So it'll be a good time Saturday. It'll be fun. I will definitely be there.
I will not be.
Will be there.
I won't be. I have family plans. I won't be there.
Family does always come first, so I'll let them slide until I find out if that's true.
It is. I am hanging out.
And Olivia will be doing a roll session demo.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding
Everyone
about that.
come out.
Yeah, but that'll be a ton of fun. Those videos are awesome. If you've never seen them, some of my earliest memories about off-water paddling stuff was watching Paddle Snake.
Yeah.
And my brothers would scare the shit out of me, being like, "Oh, you gotta watch out for the paddle snake."
That's a real thing. Yeah. I've actually had
always...
somebody this year when I mentioned a paddle snake be like, hey, why is it not showing up here?
Scroll down a little bit. There we go. Hello.
What is up, Santiago? How you doing, brother?
How's it going? Thanks for hanging out. We were just talking about paddle snakes and how real and dangerous they are. So yeah, that's going to be a great time. Free food, free paddle.
What's up, Nasai?
It is going to be a little chilly, but it'll be all right. That's why it's called the Frozen Pogie Paddle.
And we will get to talking about cold water paddling once we get to the announcements.
In just a bit.
Going to be the kind of focus for tonight.
Our pool sessions coming up. We have Xavier and Lebanon pool sessions. So all Lebanon questions, go ahead and reach out to George Davis. You can email him. His email is on the Ohio Kayak Instruction website. And for Xavier sessions, you can reach out to me.
You.
I'm the one in
is in
charge of those. I just put a bunch of information on my Facebook page about the Xavier pool sessions. There's a Google form to fill out, And then once everyone starts getting that filled out, we'll be good to go. That is almost 8 days away from a month away. So it's coming up. It's rolling up on us fast.
Wait, real quick, which one of us is cute?
I hope it's me.
No.
It's got to be Ed. I mean, there's no question about that.
So Xavier,
That's funny. We're picking up
session information.
So if you made Ed blush, keep it
That's
going.
why they stopped.
Oh my goodness.
That is.
Um,
Oh, they're your top commenter.
We've got
I'm gonna
For
look
sh-
it up.
for sure, you're cute.
let's go. Let's
Yes,
go.
Ed. Way to go, brother. I'm working on it.
The Xavier pool sessions are $15 per person to attend, and you have to be a member of the Keel Holler. So you can go to the Keel Holler website and join. It's pretty easy to join. It's $20 a year. You can set up a recurring billing, so you don't even have to think about it. You can come to all the Xavier pool sessions. It's a great club program crew. They put on a lot of trips. They do a lot of organization stuff like that.
And they're based out of Indiana, right?
And they are based out of no, they're based in Cleveland-ish, like
cool.
kind of that
I didn't know that.
Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
If you ever heard of that, they're
Yes,
kind of
I
up there. John Kovac,
Yeah.
is he's kind of the founder, from what I understand.
They've been around forever.
Thank you for subscribing. I am not single.
I'm not either. Not that anybody cares.
It was quite the crowd we got tonight. All right.
They said,
Take
just
your
kidding.
shirt off. Take your shirt off.
I'm gonna go put my sweatshirt back on now.
Can't let those pythons just roam around. You're gonna attract all types of paddle snakes.
Oh man.
It's holiday season.
We're getting all the jokes out now. We've been off for a week.
Yeah,
It's
true.
fine.
Yeah.
So I had also talked about doing hour-long private sessions during the Xavier pool sessions. But
Private kayaking sessions.
Yes.
Commenter.
But it seems like interest in those doesn't really exist. So unless I get like a personal request, you can just come to the pool. There will be volunteers there who will help. He's so red. I am. I'm very embarrassed.
I me. I'm pretty. It's the cover from the iPod.
Yeah.
See,
sure,
that's why
sure.
I'm not cute, because I know what iPods are. I aged out.
The next Ohio kayak instruction pool class, where you can meet all of us and get personal instruction from all of us, is January 9th. That's going to be at... You're just going to have to watch
You're
back
going to
the
have to
video.
get a private lesson if you want to be enlightened.
The next Ohio kayak instruction pool class is January 9th, that's a Friday night from 6 to 8 o'clock at the Mount Auburn Pool. The sign up for that is on the Ohio Kayak Instruction website. You should go sign up for now.
Spots will fill up quick, and we we truncated it because we finally had the kayak apocalypse happen.
Where it got way too crowded.
We ended up with too many at once. So sign up early if you want in for the class, especially in quick distinction between the two. The Xavier stuff, there are people around that are willing to work with you and teach you whatever, but it's not instructional. It's just open swim. Well, open kayak and swim, probably, for some people. But for any of us.
Everybody swims.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We all do. But yeah, one's instructional, one's on your own.
Yep. And then
Ish.
January 24th through the 31st is the Pecan Chili trip, which Jeremy is going on. And he's going to get it together really quick and tell you about the Pecan Chili.
Yeah, so we're getting very, very close to it. It's there still is room if anybody wants to sign up. We are at our max discount or rebate that you get towards the trip. So cheapest you're going to get a chance to go down there.
$700.
It's $700
right?
as far as I know.
It's a pretty good discount.
Yeah, it's depending on which lodging you choose, because they offer everything from camping all the way up to Rio tents or, well, yurts, really. Their permanent structures really, really nice with king-size beds and stuff. So those vary in price from around $1,800 up to around $3,200, and that kind of sets the base level price for your trip. So it's $700 off whichever of those you choose. If you do the camping, you could get out of it for like $1,100-$1,200. That does not include airfare, but it's a great way to get down there and cannot recommend it enough. It'll be a blast. We've got an awesome crew going, covers each group offering that they offer down there as far as guides for the rivers, which is beginner, intermediate, and advanced and expert. We have paddlers in all those categories, and I will be paddling with each group at least once. I'll probably
Because he's so kind. He's
I just like paddling
his
with
Chile
everybody.
trip.
I'm not sacrificing anything. Being on the water is being on the water. But
Super jealous that I don't get to go.
I've told you I would literally.
It's not the money. I just can't leave.
Okay.
I just can't leave.
What are you supposed to drop in the chat to do? Like drop L's in the chat.
L's in the chat.
L's in the chat. What's on now? I'm trying to pay for this idiot to come with me, and he won't.
Blackmailing me by
Yeah.
you guys.
Let's get
Drop
Ed
L's
to
in the
drop
chat.
out of college and move and go to Chile and ruin his future.
In my whole career for this
Yes.
one trip.
One trip
It's
is
worth
so
it.
worth it. You only have a chance to learn that lesson once, Ed.
Once. Yeah.
Make big mistakes.
Always. All right. So, and then another free event we have coming up is a paddler happy hour at DVD Brewery. So, you should come. That's another chance to meet all three of us and get your thirst on.
Wait till you see Eric.
Yeah, he's the real good looking.
Yeah, he's actually married though. So, like he's officially
yeah.
off the market. Me and Ed are too, though. Sorry.
Nailed it.
Eric's probably
God, I
watching
hope
this
this
thing.
isn't
That's the
the-
last
He's like,
one these two are doing.
They're never allowed back on my channel.
I hope
Get
this
it
is
together,
the one that
boys.
Annie watches. Because this is the only one that Annie watches.
It probably will be. That's kind of how we'll look.
Oh, God. We're joking.
We are 100%
We're joking.
kidding. It's just super funny to us to actually have like a super active comment section.
This is rare for us. All right. We'll move into our questions for tonight. Our first question, Ashley asked me this at the last Friday night pool session, which was, what can I do as a beginner in a pool other than roll? So this was not one of the ones that was given to you. So I'm going to throw that to you on the spot
Throw it to me cold.
and see what you got.
What can you do in a pool? Well, first, it's definitely not limited to rolling, though that's usually the thing you're going to do the most in a pool because you have such limited space. The first part of the answer to this question is, what are you paddling? If you're in a big creek boat or something like that, there is stuff to do. Work on edging. You can work on paddle strokes, quick changes of directions. You can work on bracing. You can work on a sculling brace. See how long you can keep your boat completely sideways or your head in the water without rolling over. And then when you do roll over, just roll back up. If you are on that same, regardless of what boat you're in, once you have a reliable roll, what you should be doing is never intentionally rolling over the same way every time again. You should roll over, like in terms of flipping your boat over to start the roll. Don't always start in the setup position. You should fall over all kinds of different ways, spin yourself around, have somebody else throw you around, which is a super fun way to have fun with friends in the pool.
It's fun for the instructors, too.
Ed got me really good. I mean, it was a legit, I actually dropped my paddle, but rolled up. So, no, it's a lot of fun, but kind of better option is to be in a playful boat, whether that's a half slice, as a lot of people have half slices these days. That gives you a chance to work on stern stalls, initiating the stern, stern turns, all kinds of fun stuff. And then kind of the best option, in my opinion, for pool work, because there is consequences so extremely low. I mean, worst you're gonna have to do is just empty your boat and get back in it, is get a playboat, even if you're not a playboater, and start messing around in it. We had a couple students do that this year. It worked out excellent. Stephanie was a perfect example of that, and she ended up buying a playboat. so you enjoyed it enough to do that. But reason is playboats being as inherently unstable as they are, in order to do the tricks you can do in them, they also are small enough to learn to do all the flat water tricks, which is the best way to learn how to do any on wave or in hole tricks, is to practice them in flat water, whether that's initiating the bow, the stern, working on the body motions, separating upper and lower body rotation to get yourself set up for all the different moves that involve rotation. You can really get a good workout in a pool and a play boat. So that's about everything I can think of.
Yeah, I would double down on that. Is just doing like learning your paddle strokes if you're in one of those bigger boats, and you're like a complete beginner. Learning paddle strokes in a pool is great. Learning sweeps, just draws, and all the fun stuff. It's kind of hard because you can't really do a ton of eddy strokes like that, but
with no current,
you can definitely do, like Jeremy said, edging. You can work on your bracing, your high and low brace.
Yes.
You can do that for sure. Sculling is a super valuable skill that not a lot of people know how to do.
I don't usually see many other people doing that. I'm always doing it.
But it is a great way, one, to help develop your roll, because you're able to practice that hip snap motion without getting your head wet when you come up. And two, it also practices your paddle movement, and it helps work on your bracing in general. So
and also your edge control.
Yeah.
So sculling will really let you find your edge. And what I'd recommend if you're doing that, you can be in any kind of boat for this too. Scull and lean as far as you can until you literally flip over, and then just roll back up. But then work on finding that sweet spot. Most boats I can get to. So if this is 90 degrees, I can get them to like 100 degrees, so tilted towards the water, but still not flipping over, while maintaining a sculling stroke on the side.
for sure.
So yeah, creaking, that's I agree 100%. And for the bow, finishing over the bow is also a great one to work on. And Creakin knows best, but
Yeah, he does.
all of the Nordic rolls, there's so many. I think that's a storm roll. Let me know if I'm right on that, Creakin. I forget. But I think it's a storm roll when you finish over the bow.
I don't know, to be honest.
But
I don't finish over my bow, so I'm a bad roller.
I will post on Facebook, or get Eric to post it on his page too. One of the Nordic videos where they go over all the different ways that they roll using a Greenland paddle, and honestly work on all of that stuff. And you do not need a Greenland paddle to do most of it. Some of them you do.
Yeah.
But anything you do to increase your awareness underwater, upside down, is going to pay off in spades on the water, because as you all know, once you get flipped over in a rapid, it's not usually in a normal manner. You're not typically planning on flipping over. You just get smacked. Thank you. Appreciate it, bro.
Cool. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff you can work on in current and out of the current. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
What's up, Mike?
In stuff and out of current. And like Jeremy said, we do spend most of our time working on rolls in the pool, just because it's a very controlled environment. Come Monday night class, we'll be still working on rolls for a large portion of that.
And those, again, are classes too, primarily.
Yeah.
The point is to learn to roll or to work on your roll. So our actual classes that are instructional rolling is the focus of those entirely, as well as T rescues, H rescues, hand to God, stuff like that, which are other things you can work on as well.
For sure.
The Xavier pool sessions, again, though, are just free pool time.
Come around, hang
out, do whatever you want. Though you'll see us cartwheeling, playing around, stalling, doing whatever, working on new things ourselves. You can plug the boat off of the deck of the pool and get a little tiny pop out of it. Like Jeremy said, it also depends on what you're paddling. Creek boats are very kind of boring in a pool, in my opinion. I agree. Because you're just limited in that. Even in like a half slice, you can at least do stern. You can initiate the stern, so you're good. Or stern stalls and a half slice, and it's just depends on what you're paddling. If you're at our sessions, always feel free to ask us too, because as you probably have noticed, we're always in play boats of some variety. So just tell us, you can get on our boat. We're happy. Yeah. Well, maybe not the new one, but I don't have a new one. Not yet. Come January, though. Yeah.
Cool. All right. But just to wrap that question up, as a true beginner, what you really want to focus on is like your paddle strokes, your bracing, your sculling, edge control, and then work your way into the rolls. Our next question is tips for a stern stall.
So, stern stall specifically, not initiate.
I think it was
not
a stern stall.
initiating the stern.
It might have been stern squirt, but I wrote stern stall in my notes. So
We'll just do them both anyway. It's the same general idea. So, biggest difference is whether or not you're in flat water or moving water is a lot easier to get vertical with some current to help you. At the same time, it's a little bit more chaotic when you're learning to stern stall because the water's moving. So the whole point behind either to stall the boat, you have to initiate the stern first, and to do that you have to create a angle towards the water with the side of the stern that you're going to dip, and you take a backstroke or reverse sweep on the opposite side while you maintain that lean into the water with the opposite edge of the boat. Practicing lean cleans is a great way to get to the point of being able to initiate the bow or the stern, or well, both really. It just depends again what boat you're in. If you're in a play boat, lean cleans will teach you how to initiate the bow and the stern. If you are in a half slice, it will still teach you how to initiate the stern very well, and you'll understand how to do it on a boat that has a slicey bow or a play boat. But once you do get yourself up, so when you're taking that sweep, after you've edged into the turn, you're going to have rotational momentum, and you need to stop that momentum one way or the other. And it's typically either with this is different from paddler to paddler. Some people will take a real quick stroke or a real quick smack on the other side. You can even do it on the same side you initiated with if you do a weird type skull stroke over on that side, a little more vertical, but you need to counter the opposite direction of what you are rotating to stall the boat. And the biggest part of the stall, once you stop the rotation of the boat, is it's either going to fall back over your head or it's going to flatten back out. And so really there's only two things to remember there. If you crunch forward, it's going to make you more vertical and more likely to flip over your head. So if your bow's not coming up enough, it's leaning back actually puts the bow back down. So you want to lean forward with like a mini crunch type action, pulling your knees towards your chest. And it's a lot less exaggerated than you'd think it would be. And the only way to figure that out is to actually just spend a bunch of time doing it, because you're even going from boat to boat, you could be able to stern stall one boat and get in a different boat, and you have to work on it for a couple minutes to figure out the balance point of that boat in water. So really just stopping the rotation and maintaining the verticality of the boat by either leaning forward or back to control its attitude vertically, like this. That's about it for a stern stall, exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, basically stern stall is what Jeremy said. The biggest piece that took me forever to learn, and I'm still learning on it, because I am not very good at stern stalls compared to bow stalls, is getting your body in the right position. So when I would first do it, and if you watch people do it, it seems like everyone, and it kind of makes sense, at least it made sense to me, to lean back, which Jeremy said is why you either flatten out, or in my case, I'm
never initiate
past the point of so far leaning back that I go head over handlebars anyway.
Yeah.
So the thing with stern squirts is, like Jeremy said, crunch up with the abs, and there's a sweet spot, because you can go too far in both directions, and you'll fall out of it. There's a nice sweet spot where you're engaged and you're pulling up with your knees, but you're not pulling so hard that you're going to pull the kayak on top of yourself. Really, the only tip is just practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing.
Speaking of stuff to practice in a pool that you can practice too, it's kind of a unique opportunity to have somebody if the pool. Most pools you can do it in. Just watch out for your head if you're doing this, but you can have somebody stand on the edge of the pool and actually initiate you into a stern stall, even with a half size play boat, whatever, it doesn't matter, and they can hold your bow pretty easily. that can be a really good way to do it. And if you're doing bow initiations in a play boat or a full slice, you don't even need somebody else. You can just use the side of the pool and figure out. I don't know how to explain it, but you have to swing your hips around and get the boat vertical, leaning over the outside of the pool. But once you do, you can then find your balance point by moving yourself forward and aft to same way you would as if you initiated it in the water.
Yep.
But that's another thing you can practice in a pool too. So
there's a ton of videos. Eric just posted a video about stern squirts, and he's posted a couple this week because that's what we were shooting with our new Antixes. But the main there's ways to. You're a little salty.
I'm not salty. I'm just impatient.
So Eric posted a reverse double pump, which is a very hard thing to do. So if you're trying to learn how to stern squirt, and stern stall, I would say don't do a reverse double pump, especially if you're in a half slice, because that takes a lot of core strength. And if you're not used to the motion, it's easier to just paddle straight in a pool and then practice your stern squirt motion. And when you stern squirt, the easiest thing that has worked for me is it comes back to your body doing whatever your eyes are looking.
Yeah,
so
100%.
you want to like rotate completely and
look at your stern.
Take your eyes and look at the far side of the stern. So if you're turning to the right, you want to look at the left butt, right? You want to get your eyes all the way over there. Take your backstroke and crunch up, and that's how you initiate the stern and go up. In that stern squirt fail video, that guy in the purple antics, he did it really nice. That was a great example.
I think that was just about as good as you could do. There's a good still shot of it as well.
Yeah.
Actually, and while he mentioned it, I thought of several other things we should mention. Two other ways when you're learning to do it from scratch. So beyond lean cleans, a great thing to do is just practice building rotational momentum in your boat. Sit flat to start with, and just start with small forward sweeps on one side and follow it up with a reverse sweep on the other side to practice spinning your boat in the first place. And then as you get comfortable with that, which will happen very quick for just flat spins, start to play with edging towards one side or the other. And as you do, you will feel that edge start to slice under the water. And that's the feeling that you're looking for when you're trying to initiate the stern. So once you're comfortable with that, just literally spin yourself in a circle and keep dropping that edge until your boat pops up in the air. You will absolutely flop over. It's going to happen a bunch. Just accept that fact, and it's good roll practice anyway, or bracing practice. So just brace back up, give it another go. The other way to do it is a plowing stern stall, which is where you back paddle in a straight direction, and you don't really lean too far forward. It also depends what boat you're in. Again, if you have big volume in the bow, you can lean further forward. But what you're trying to do is just engage the stern to go straight up, and this eliminates the rotation from it too. So now the difference there is it's
also very hard to do.
Yeah, it's very weird feeling when you're learning it
if
for the first time.
If you've done a bow plow, it's the same thing.
It's the opposite.
And it's just backwards. And for me, doing it backwards is
it's weird feeling.
It's very hard.
It's easier for me to initiate and do it rotating into it than it is to plow into it. But if you just want to get vertical, just go backwards.
Yeah, the Supernova would be a great boat to stern squirt.
Yeah, Supernova
and the stall in.
Mitchell knows, but I mean, huge fan.
Yeah.
Literally one of the two boats I paddle pretty much 100% of the time. So
cool. Okay, I think we beat that one to death. Pretty good.
Yeah, we got it good. It's
what gear should someone on a budget buy brand spanking new?
On a budget.
On a budget. I think there's two pieces of equipment that are far more important than the rest, and those are the ones that keep you alive.
Yep.
So you should go helmet, life jacket, and it's just so one helmet. You don't want to hit any rocks, especially if you're paddling in Ohio. You will bonk your noggin.
And we're talking about buying new gear.
Brand new gear.
Yeah.
And those used helmets.
You
also,
never know what's happened to
You don't know what's happened to them. They very possible could have taken the shot. A shot.
Mike's another Nova fan. Love that.
Magical Unicorn, we've been wondering, who are you? We've been wondering this.
That's the right answer too. Yes, it is benefit. If you're trying to stern squirt or stern stall, moving the seat back will make it easier to initiate for sure.
Yeah.
If you're doing that on the river though for your run, just be ready to spend a little more time looking at the sky than you're used to.
All of my boats, my seats are back one at least.
I thought so. They're gonna. We're not
just gonna.
We'll find out.
All right,
one day.
it's a
We're gonna
secret
find out
forever.
one day on the river.
I will track you down.
I have a certain
kidding.
set of skills developed over many years.
Yeah, helmet, life jacket. It's helmet. You don't know what it's been through. It's very possible the picture looks great on Facebook. You get there in real life, and then there's a giant crack on the other side, and you just never know how much.
Challenge accepted.
How many hits it's taken. You can never go wrong with a new helmet, and then with life jacket, same thing. You want something that's gonna float and keep you alive.
Couple of other points on a life jacket, PFD in particular. Oftentimes you run into the situation where you're going to find them used on Marketplace and it may be entirely true that they bought it 12 years ago, used it 3 times and never used it again. Please be aware that if you go that route, and I realize we're supposed to be talking about new stuff, but if you do go the used route, there is a shelf life for the foam that is in PFDs. You need to float test it, in a pool or something or a river before you buy it. Do not buy 10 plus, honestly, don't buy 5+ year old gear that is a PFD or a helmet without some manner of proving it's still as good as it was. So hence why we say if you're going to buy any 2 pieces of new gear, it would be those 2 that I would start with.
Other things you can get it
paddle.
Buy without, you can buy. I mean the paddle that I use now that didn't break on me is a used one that I bought when I got back into kayaking, and I've used it for 7 years, and it's been perfectly fine, and it was used when I bought it. Boats you can buy used.
Boats you should, if you're newer at paddling too. I'm a huge advocate of don't go buy. And if you've got the means, by all means, go for it. But the question was for a paddler, if you're gonna buy anything from a store, buy it from Whitewater Warehouse. But since it was for someone on a budget, don't buy a boat if you're on a budget. The boat is the last thing you should buy, to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can get by without the fancy new stuff. You
Plus,
don't really need a new skirt.
Is if you don't have a boat, you typically paddle a bunch of people's boats because you're
get a lot of
borrowing or
experience.
demoing, and you'll find out what boat you really want before you go drop $2,000 these days on a new boat. So it's the last thing I would buy is the boat.
Skirt. I used old Snapdragons for a long time.
They fit everything.
They leak.
They leak, but they fit everything.
You're gonna have to drain your boat anyway.
Yes.
So, I would not waste your money on a new skirt. The only reason I got an IR skirt was because I started running waterfalls, and Snapdragon is not very good at staying on the boat in that situation.
At least not the standard Snapdragon.
Yeah, dry tops, and unless you're paddling in the spring or winter or late fall, you don't really need a dry top. If you're just a summer paddler, you can get by without it. Or you can get a used one.
I was gonna say that's another one that used is not.
It's really not that big a deal. You don't need something that's completely dry unless you're out there making it work. I think, like I said, if it's 2 things that keep you alive, they're definitely the most important.
And Mike, we'll definitely do that. And then to your second comment, that's exactly my point. It's way better to paddle a bunch of boats before you buy your first kayak for that exact reason. For sure. And then other budget kind of note, and we see a lot of students doing this, which is awesome because you don't need to have one of the 4 or 5 kayak brands of base layers, things like that. If you have wetsuits or other things like that from scuba diving, like I did, I wore an old Marine Corps or Navy issued Marine Corps diaper style wetsuit forever because my dad stole it when he left the Marine Corps, and it fit me. It wasn't cool looking, it wasn't comfortable, but it got the job done, and that's really the point. So don't go buy a bunch of super expensive paddle gear brand new that when you have other stuff that works. If it works for whatever your other sport is, it'll work for kayaking.
Unless it's cotton.
Yeah. What if it's
Don't wear
cotton?
cotton.
Don't wear it. Period.
Cool.
That's true for all water sports.
All right. That moves us into the meat and potatoes of tonight.
Yeah.
Is our cold weather paddling discussion. We've talked about this kind of briefly before, but we're going to go through tonight and whatever time we have left and really go in depth on our cold weather stuff. There's a couple cold weather myths that we're going to talk about and just really hitting the hammer because it is
that
time.
time of year.
The pokey paddle, the frozen pokey paddle, it's coming up. So that's going to be a lot of people's first introduction to cold weather. And we're going to talk about cold water and cold weather. And we're going to talk about what you should wear and bring. So we'll start with, let's go ahead and start with a debunking the 120 combination myth.
Yeah. You want to start with what?
So basically, from our understanding, we looked this up very quickly before the stream started.
I've been told this too, but
it's if the water temperature plus the air temperature is greater than 120 degrees, you don't need. Fahrenheit.
If you're paddling at something 120 degrees Celsius, good luck to you.
Yeah, your boat will probably melt. Good luck.
You're boiling, so.
Get soft at least. It might not melt. Although, anyway,
I don't think you care.
If the water temperature plus the air temperature is 120 degrees, is that you don't need any cold weather gear.
It's not to throw you off, but I'll answer Mitch's question real quick. So I know you said yours is level 6, and I've heard they're super stiff.
Did you get the new one, Mitch?
Yeah,
like the brand new one that they just came out with. Because I could not get that thing on a boat at all.
Yeah, I tried to, and it is incredibly stiff, and I totally agree with the bench press comment there.
Yeah.
And to that bench press comment, I ran into a guy who was I'm sure.
Is it like the Spade or something like that?
Is it got purple letters on it? Yeah, I saw it in your video. That's the new one. It's got that double fluted rand on it.
We're nerding.
Anyway,
got distracted.
What the IR? I talked to a guy from IR who worked on their research team, and he said with their rand skirts, they designed for a 120-pound bench press to put the thing on.
That's impressive.
So that's IR.
Okay.
So you were on the Upper Palgine all day?
Focus.
I am.
Focus.
We gotta talk to our crowd. We got the comments coming. We got comments, Ed.
Cold weather, 120 degrees. I mentioned what it was. That's not true. The situation that Jeremy and I thought of was 70 degrees, 50 degrees. You're going to be
so just
at
to clarify, 70 degrees air temperature,
Yes.
50 degrees water temperature.
Yep. You're going to
either
be
one of us
in a
would be
shorty
wearing something,
or at the bare minimum. Yeah, for me, at the bare minimum, a shorty with a rash guard, if not my dry top, because I don't have a long sleeve paddling jacket. And two,
and
another
keep in mind,
one,
50-degree water is cold.
Yeah, another one that I just came up with is 80 degrees air temperature, 40-degree water temperature.
It's the same. So
you can just do the math. It's not going to be, no matter what it is.
It still gives you 120, and you still need to be dressed. The main thing above all is to always dress for the swim.
Yep.
This becomes more and more important the more continuous the body of water you're in is. And so if you're paddling out west, like Colorado, Washington State, a lot of places that have super continuous runs, you're going to be in the water for a while if you swim. So it's not, hey, am I warm at the put in or warm while I'm in my boat paddling or even rolling? It's, am I going to be warm in a rescue situation if I swim and prevent myself getting hypothermia? Because if you do in a continuous river or even one that's pool drop like a lot of the ones out here, you're in serious trouble because you have to get all the way off the river into warm, dry clothes and properly rewarm slowly if you start to become semi-hypothermic or fully hypothermic. And that is, like we talked about in our Halloween scary special, like I have had hypothermia.
Yeah.
It's not fun. You don't want to do it, but dress for the swim always. So rather than the 120 rule, I base it on the water temperature.
I don't really notice much about the air temperature.
Yeah.
I really don't kayak unless it's like 50 degrees outside, but that's just personal preference. I like being mostly warm,
Keep trying.
so I don't do it. I will. I'm sure I will this winter. I'm sure I'll make a very cold decision someday.
I
But
do, and I tried to get out today, but got stuck at work too long. And that's just because I think it's extra fun paddling when there's fresh snow out.
Yeah.
It's super cool looking. Lots of good experiences out there. It is very cold, and you need, even if you're on the Little Miami, whatever you're in, if you're outdoors and you can't get to a vehicle or a house within 5 minutes, you need to be dressed like you're dressed for anything else, because onset of hypothermia can happen in like 7 minutes or something like that of cold water exposure. So you definitely need to take it seriously and know yourself and know your limits when you're doing that kind of thing.
Yep. The other thing that we'll talk about debunking real quick is the mindset is like, oh, I just won't swim. Which we kind of got
Literal
into.
fatal mindset.
I've said this before as a joke a couple of times, but I'm always joking. We're all in between swims. You never know when you're going to swim, when you're not going to swim. The big part about paddling when it's cold water is that water just shocks you. Like it's a complete shock. Unless you're a really solid roller, like you're going to be just out of it for a second before you gather your bearings. So that could just be the second that you need that's going to make you pull your skirt. So you just never know what's going to happen. Water temperature is cold. It does affect you. Anybody who's flipped outside when it's cold outside and the water is freezing.
And how used to that you are. So you can train that response over. You don't have to train it. You will develop it over time. I've been in cold water since I was like 7 years old, like regularly. And not just in kayaking and stuff either, like scuba diving and things like that. So you develop a ability to gauge the how cold it is and how badly it'll affect you. I paddled in water with ice in it quite a bit, and that's a lot different than paddling in 50-degree water, which is still cold and will still get you. But there's even a name for it. It's called the mammalian dive reflex. But when you hit cold water, it can actually cause your throat to close. If you're not used to it, it's also called cold water shock, and that also can induce heart arrhythmias in fully healthy people. Your body's not, until you get yourself used to it, is not prepared for that type of shock. So go slowly into the world of cold water paddling and do it with someone who knows what they're doing. And both of you need to know, if you're paddling in the cold, everyone with you needs to know how to treat hypothermia.
Yeah.
It's not hard. You don't need medicine or drugs, but you just need to know what to do.
Another thing that would be a good skill to develop would be saying no to someone who's underdressed.
Absolutely.
Knowing yourself, knowing your limits. If I show up with nothing, with just my dry top, Jeremy and Eric are going to be like, dude, you're not getting on today. Probably.
Well, and like we were talking about last week on O'Banion, when we were all together, Eric came underdressed.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd mind me telling this story because he was telling it to everybody there, but he wore, I think he said, just a shorty.
So Eric is kind of notorious for
shorty or dry
wearing
suit.
Shorty or dry suit. There is no in between. So if it's like we were talking about, 50-degree day, he'll be in a shorty, which I disagree with, and I'm sure you do too. But on the O'Banion, there's a sewer plant, and the sewer produces warm water, and Eric had to go take a bath in the poop water.
Yep. Which was an incredibly intelligent thing to do.
To stop him from
he was able to
being
rewarm himself up to a point where he could paddle off the rest of the run, and he said he was in serious trouble. So having the self-awareness to realize there is an alternate solution, however undesirable it may seem at the time, it's worth it to do. So don't don't be reckless around cold water. It's
Yeah.
more dangerous than most things on the river in warm weather.
And that kind of brings us into what is the bare minimum
The bare minimum.
for cold water paddling. So this is kind of a loaded question, to be honest, because I don't really think there is a bare minimum. I think you need to know yourself, one, but I never go anywhere cold without a solid base layer. So I have Under Armour tights and a shirt that I wear, a long sleeve shirt that I wear when I ski, when I kayak when it's cold outside. I have 2 different wetsuits. I've shown them on stream before. I have a Farmer John and a just shorty wetsuit. I will use the Farmer John almost always in the winter because it's
a classic.
It's warmer.
It gets upper and lower.
It gets upper and lower body. I have worn 2 Under Armours before with that, just on days where it's really cold, maybe like solid 45 for me. And then
that's cold.
And then I wear you definitely need something dry. So that could be I have a semi-dry top. Actually, it's not a completely dry top. It's just gasketed on the wrist. There's no neck gasket, but my neck piece is still really tight and firm, so it does not let a lot of water in. So I would say that if you're bare minimuming it, it needs to be a good base layer, a wetsuit, and a dry top. But that's still, I mean, that could not be enough depending on the situation.
Absolutely. And case in point, last week on O'Banion, which like I thought it was warm, but I was the only one not in a dry suit. But or Ed wasn't. That's sorry. I forgot, bro.
Come on, man.
I gave. There's a long story behind this. I forgot you don't.
Yeah, that doesn't fit.
Didn't fit him either. Eric's tried to give both of us a dry suit this year, and neither of us fit in it. So anyway, Ed and I were the only ones not in dry suits. But yeah, I was hot on the whole run.
Which it is better to be hot than to be cold.
It is.
So I was sweating last week, and I'm much happier to be sweating than.
And we were in similar stuff.
Yeah.
We were both wearing neoprene. I was wearing like 1/4 millimeter neoprene sort of wetsuit style legging things under my board shorts, and then I was wearing a dry top with a fleece layer on top. And I actually have some of that stuff with me right now because I was trying to get on the water after work, but ran out of daylight. So, well, we've talked about neoprene and shown that. And I'm not sponsored by IR, despite the fact that almost everything I'm going to pull out of this bag is IR. So if you see this IR,
good luck.
Yeah, it's like one of the hardest sponsors to get. Not going to happen. Anyway, this is one of their Polartec fleece tops. There is no neoprene. It's fleece like you would wear a base layer, mid layer for a snowboard or skiing. Fleece is another option to go with, either in lieu of neoprene, which is what wetsuits are made out of, or wetsuits that are going to keep you warm. And do be aware that, like, Under Armour, for example, is not neoprene.
No, it's not.
It does not have the same thermal coefficient at all. It is not going to keep you near as warm as neoprene. That's made out of either capilene or propylene. Both of those are fine. They're good, like, in between insulating layers. But if you're going with cold water stuff, you really want to be a neoprene or fleece. Again, not pitching just IR, but I do know, like Beth, my longtime girlfriend, her IR top is awesome, and I actually wish I had one. It's neoprene lined with fleece, which is super warm according to her. I can't fit in it, but it's basically this kind of fleece on the inside of 1 millimeter neoprene top, and that really works well. That gives you the best of both worlds. So I do fleece a lot. Neoprene works by keeping the water against your body and trapping it, and then your body heat warms that water up, and that water stays in place, and that's how a wetsuit works. And it is effective. It works very well. Come in a variety of thicknesses, like I've talked about before on here. The most important thing, really, in my opinion, and any cold water situation is a dry top. Not immersion research, by the way. Cocatat, hit me up. Totally
Really
just
selling
kidding with
yourself
these
tonight.
plugs. Hey, I gotta do something for a side job.
It's your fun.
Just kidding. In case, and just because we do want to always be inclusive of everybody, in case you don't know, and this one looks horrible because it is, all chewed up, these are gaskets. They're made out of latex rubber. It is waterproof. Literally, water does not come through it. It should not choke you out. Your face should not be red while you're wearing your dry top, but it should be tight enough that it feels like a very weak-armed person is strangling you.
Softly strangled.
Very gently strangling you, and if it's correct, it will truly keep you dry. As long as, if you're only wearing a dry top, as long as you're in your boat, it will keep you pretty much completely dry. If you end up swimming, it's going to come right up through the tunnel at the bottom of this. So there are dry pants that go with dry tops. I'm not a fan. They do not keep you completely dry, and they don't add much warmth. Also, just as a side note, dry tops are incredibly expensive. A lot of people think they keep you warm. They keep you dry. This is for keeping you warm. This is for keeping you dry. While it does add some warmth, and one nice thing about dry tops is they're very wind resistant, which is great because just like how when we sweat, evaporation, that's how your body cools itself. Well, when you're trying not to cool itself, you want to keep the wind off of you because if your skin's wet and you're moving, you're going to have breeze across you, and that is going to cool you very quickly. So that's the other big part about a dry top. But dry pants aren't going to do all that much for you in a swim situation. They will help, don't get me wrong, but water still will get in, and I'm just not a big fan of them myself, though they certainly are better than nothing. As far as what I wear for pants, I stick with neoprene. These are very old and inside out. But while you can't find Hydroskin G2 these days, probably, and if you do find it on Marketplace or something, I really wouldn't buy it. It's definitely very old and funky. I've been rocking this for like well over a decade, and it works super good. Yep, I agree. Oh, very good. Sorry, I didn't see the other comment, Mike. I agree 100%. I really do like the fleece. The fleece keeps you. Fleece doesn't absorb water. I forgot that part of that. So while neoprene traps it against your skin, warms the water up, and creates a water barrier between your skin, the neoprene, and the outside world that is warmer than the water that's outside. The fleece stuff really doesn't hold water very well, so it just doesn't keep you wet. Like you will obviously get water underneath it, but it wicks off of the fleece very well. I do have fleece pants also, but the reason I stick with neoprene pants is because in the event of a swim, and yes, I have swam in very cold water, I have gotten hypothermic, like literally and truly gotten hypothermia. My brother lived in Seattle for a long time, so I used to paddle a Skycomish a lot. I used to paddle in Colorado quite a bit. That's all snow melt, and it's very cold water. Remember, you can get hypothermic on an 85-degree day if you're paddling in 35-degree water, and it has nothing to do with any equation.
Bad day.
And so, yeah, you don't want it to happen. But the reason I stick with neoprene for my bottoms, and just to be complete with everything, if you ever see me, I'm always wearing just paddling shorts or whatever on top of my neoprene bottoms because I'm just not that dude. It's neoprene, in my opinion, is it's more reliable for an extended period of time in water because you get the wetsuit effect. The fleece is not going to wick any water while your legs are underwater. So while it will keep you warmer, you're going to be very wet. So that's why I stick with neoprene bottoms most of the time. I've never had a dry suit. I had dry suit bottoms once upon a time, and I wore them like twice and never wore them again, which is exactly what Mike had just said in a comment. Just wasn't a fan. They didn't really do much to benefit me, and they're annoying to wear in the boat, in my opinion. But I would wear a full dry suit if I had ever got one. The reason I don't, and there's been a few comments and stuff on Facebook about, it's because I very much was a
Freaking
dirtbag
expensive.
paddler and could not afford them even when they were like $800 back in like 2000, like the year 2000 for you youngins. But I never have got one because I got very used to doing, like I said, I started paddling cold water and diving in cold water by 11 and just was used to it. So it's never been that big of an issue for me. I also do cold water immersion stuff like Wim Hof breathing and all that too, which is a whole different area I'm not going to get into. But I know my limits and what I wear. So full dry suit, same material as this. Things have changed in the world, but Kokatat kind of always was the go-to brand for dry gear, period. But whether it's a dry suit, dry top, or dry pants, from whatever company it's from, Immersion Research makes great stuff now. Level 6 has some good stuff. Hiko, which is Czechoslovakian or Czech Republic, HIKO.
I have no idea.
So apparently their new dry suit it's getting pushed by a lot of people I know. They really like it, and it's a lot cheaper than their competitors. The other one is Palm. Palm is a UK brand. Obviously, we have some extra cost getting anything from outside the country here these days, but and I prefer to get stuff all made in America. But I don't know if anybody makes a dry suit all in America, and I don't believe they do. And point being is you absolutely need to wear you can wear fleece or neoprene, but with a dry suit, it's going to keep you from getting wet because it doesn't have a seam at the waist like dry pants and a dry top do. So the dry suit has booties too, like footy pajamas that you wore when you were a little kid. So it actually keeps you for the water from contacting you. So you can get away with wearing, if it's a truly well-fitting one, you can wear whatever you want that's warm under there as long as it's not cotton. Never wear cotton.
A nice Hellbender would go great under it.
Hellbenders do, it would be fine.
Yeah.
You could totally rock one of these under there. It's this stuff does not hold water either, for the record.
No, it doesn't.
It's great.
I just don't want mine to smell like river gear.
I know. It's also like some of my fanciest hoodies. So I'm like, I don't want to get it all funky, but you could. I would recommend fleece, but I think you wrote it in there. But no. So if you go all the way with a dry suit, I would just go in for a union suit.
Yep.
It's sold by multiple companies. They come by different names, but it's just like a dry suit, but it's made out of fleece, and it looks like the most comfortable thing ever. And I've actually almost bought one before without any intention of buying a dry suit, because I know people who wear their union suits as their base layer for snowboarding and skiing.
Yep.
It's super warm. It's a one-piece thing. I also know people who say they're super nice for hanging out after you get off the slopes or the river, for that matter, because it's like comfy pajamas when you were like a little kid. So union suit is what I would recommend, which is a one-piece fleece thing that goes under it because it won't be getting wet.
Yeah, if you're going for the dry suit, a union suit's gonna be like another $100, but what's another $100 after you've already spent $15?
And plus, your other option would be to go with a top and a bottom, which is going to cost more than a union suit would, and I think a union suit's like $180-ish, but. There's lots of sales going on right now, by the way, everywhere. CKS, Colorado Kayak Supply, NRS, ERA, Whitewater Warehouse.
Yep. There's not really, I guess, to come back to the original point of this question, there's not really a bare minimum. It's because it's so situationally dependent.
And dependent on the person,
and
too.
dependent on the person. So I always run hot, so I'm always kind of...
And I do, too.
I can get in trouble, especially on the ski slope, by underdressing. Then by the time I get to my car, I'm like blue-lipped.
Right, so I do that too. I'm really bad about it.
So it's better to be safe than sorry, right? Like you can always it's the same thing. You tell people when you go skiing, you can always take layers off. You cannot put more layers back on because they're back at the house.
And that's double true when they're wet.
It's double true when they're wet. So it's better to be hot than cold. Bare minimum, especially if it's cold out, you need a wetsuit. You need to be dressed for the swim. If you don't want to do dry suit, which is completely fine, completely reasonable, you definitely need a wetsuit.
Yeah, and since it's just to speak real quickly to some of those comments, there's a lot of Facebook comments on this cold water topic where it's like, but Jeremy does this or whatever. And yes, that's true. And I also go lay down in the river and do like breathing exercises in freezing weather. Like some fisherman almost called the police on me last year because he thought I was dead. I wasn't dead. I was literally just doing cold water exposure. Like, but it's not a normal thing to be doing. I totally understand why he would be concerned. But don't let other people's gear choices influence yours either. Like, that's unfortunately a very personal thing to figure out on your own. It's based on your body type, your fat percentage of your body, which is a good thing in terms of the more fat you have, the warmer you're going to be.
So just for the pogies versus neoprene gloves, Jeremy doesn't use either. I use pogies. I have never used neoprene gloves, but I would think that it would bother me because I won't have my hands gripping on the paddle. People don't like pogies because they start off cold, but they warm up because that's how neoprene works. And honestly, there's been a couple times where I've been very, very glad that I had my pogies. I know a few people that do use neoprene gloves, and I've never heard them complain too much, but personally, I just think that if I'm going to use it, I'm going to use pogies.
Yeah, if I was going to use one or the other, I would use pogies too. I actually have used both, and not even just like a couple times. Like I kind of like tried to make myself use them, but I inevitably always put my pogies in the middle and just took my hands out anyway. And so it was like, why do I have these things on my paddle?
Yeah.
Gloves, I hate them. I lose all tactile feel of the paddle, even in the thinnest gloves I've ever worn, and they keep your hands wet. Whereas for me anyway, and I do tend to like accentuate my strokes to where my hand often is in the water, near the water, or near enough the water that it's always wet, but it's almost seemed worse to me wearing gloves. Again, this is just me, my opinion. Do not do it because I said I don't like it.
Yep. Try it for yourself.
Whatever works for you, do it.
And
and also test all this gear before you
Yeah.
go jump in a freezing river.
Yeah.
Like in a bathtub, seriously, like at home. Test it, make sure it's actually keeping the water out before you go trust your life to it. Whether it's new or not.
When is it time to dress for the swim? Always.
Every time you go paddle.
Every time you
in
paddle.
summer, it doesn't matter. You
like-
could be paddling the warmest place ever, which in the summer, if you're comfortable enough with it, I mean, for me, it's literally just a swimming suit. That's what I wear to kayak in.
But it's what Jeremy said. You can be paddling 85 degrees and have 35-degree water temperature. You can get hypothermic in that. So you need to be dressed for the hypothermic option, not the, it's so sunny and nice out.
Well,
option.
and even to address summer paddling, like
Yeah.
still dress for the swim, and that can include something we can both speak to a little bit, or not even the swim, dress for the conditions that you expect in its entirety. And what I'm getting at here is poison ivy.
Yeah.
There are times when it can be worth wearing a really, really thin base layer, or rash guard type thing, if you are going to be around a lot of poison ivy, for example, or if you're in a place where if you swim, you're going to have to crawl out on sharp rocks. Abrasion resistance is a great thing. Another place that it can be super helpful is if you have to walk through lots of thick brush or sticky nettles and things like that. Not having bare legs means a lot less blood.
Also, don't wear a banana hammock if you're a dude. No one wants to see that. Put shorts on.
Yeah, we are talking about you if you're watching. you
you
know who you are, and you know what you did.
Yeah.
I do still applaud your bravery. Way to go, though. But
cold weather
Seriously
protected clothing. So again, personal preference. Your body, but honestly, anything I wear a dry top on the Nanahala because that's just how I am. I don't like it. It's cold water. It's cold enough for me. I don't really know what the Nanahala runs off the top of my head.
all right, that's a clue. I'm getting closer. I told you I've got skills.
Yeah. Jeremy, maybe you don't want to be like him all the time.
I absolutely advise not taking my advice on things like this. Like,
But for protective clothing, it again, personal preference. Wherever you think you're going to be cold, like if it's, I don't know, 45 degrees outside, do you walk out there with just a short t-shirt on?
the Nantahala is actually a great kind of place to evaluate that, because usually most of you, before you ever paddle in winter, you're going to have paddled the Nantahala at least once in relatively warm weather, if not the actual summer when it's 85 degrees. And a lot of people wear dry suits on the Nantahala when it's 85 or so outside, which blows my mind. I would be miserable. Just to continue the trend, I'm skin to wind in the summer on the Nantahala. I think it feels great.
I'm not.
I think the Nantahala feels wonderful if it's above like 75 degrees. I think it's absolutely perfect. And that's why it's so important to go find this out for yourself in a controlled environment first and start easing your way into colder and colder water paddling.
Yes, it should be driven by the water temperature, not the air temperature.
100%.
Yes, the Nanty is cold, which is why I do not skin to wind.
And this is why I'm saying do what you know. Now, I've paddled the Nantahala a lot. And Mitchell knows. I mean, like, I'm always rolling around or playing around, doing whatever, just getting waxed for some dumb reason. Point is, I'm in the water when I'm on the Nantahala, and in spring and fall, I'll wear a shorty or even my full dry top. I think I wore a dry top on the upper and the last release, whatever it was. I don't remember. Yeah, but outside of that, sometimes I wear a rash guard, but that's mostly for sun. But water temperature I think is fine. So again, this is one of those things where that's why these rules or these, the 120 thing, they're guidelines, but in reality, it's what are you comfortable with?
Yep.
And for me, the Nantahala is refreshing in summer, but I'm weird.
That's for sure.
Yeah. No one's gonna argue that.
Okay.
Our pleasure.
That's our questions. Before everyone leaves, we
had a final announcement for White Water Warehouse.
Oh yeah, we're not done.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's just all the questions. Before everyone leaves, do the stream things and like and comment and subscribe.
What's up, George? Didn't realize that was you. Now I see the name. Yeah, now it makes sense.
Like, comment, subscribe. It really helps get our channel out there and exposes us to more and more people that we can bring into the kayaking sport, which is the mission statement for Ohio Kayak Instruction.
Absolutely. Kayaking is fun. It's something people should give a shot.
Yeah.
It does not have to be this hardcore extreme thing. It absolutely can be. Plenty of us do that part too. But we're just trying to continue to build this community. I didn't know this was here until randomly running into Eric in Red River Gorge last year. And that's how I met Ed and Olivia and everybody else. And it's, literally amazing to have paddled this long and never had a community in the general area I've lived a lot of my life in. So this has been awesome, and we want to grow this as big as we can. Gives us way more ways to paddle with each other on more rivers, more places.
My goal is, and has always been, is to get people my age in, because barring a few children whose parents force them to kayak, I'm the youngest paddler around. And my girlfriend, who her boyfriend forces her to paddle.
I might have done that too.
I'm the youngest paddler around. So I really want to build out and branch out to people my age and younger.
Rahul's been.
Yeah, he's bring his friends,
We're not going to discuss that he's closer to your age than mine.
That's like typically how math works.
Do you want to talk math, Ed?
No,
I saw you had physics written there, and
I did. We're gonna.
We'll
come back to that one. We're gonna come back to that one. I figure my mom was wondering if you were qualified to answer that question. I said, I'm sure that Jeremy is.
Yeah, I'm actually a published physicist. I have 23 publications in peer-reviewed journals. I have 3 patents.
See, there we go.
Aeronautical engineer and published physicist. I'm a fellow of aeronautical physics.
Okay. We got him going.
I'm not kidding.
Asked.
All right.
Thanks, Colleen.
So, January 24th, there's a gear swap. Talking about gear, is a great time to get used gear that is quality. It's cheap. It's at Mad Tree Brewery. It is January 24th. There's ridiculous deals there. People are trying to get rid of stuff. I got a brand new Farmer John wetsuit there for $15 last year, which was
last week.
awesome.
I'm still rocking a North Face thing I got like 7 years ago at the swap for like $10.
We have
Pretty much brand new.
a Swiftwater Rescue Course coming up on April 18th through the 19th. That's going to take place at Whitewater Warehouse. That is specifically just Swiftwater Rescue. If you are interested, there's also going to be if you're interested in becoming an instructor, there's an ACA class in March 27th through the 29th, and then April 28th and 29th. And that's just specifically for Ohio Kayak Construction. Eric set that up. That's going to be in
It's an Ohio pile.
Ohio Pile. So we'll be
on
on
the
the
Yacht
Yacht, the
or-
Castleman, and possibly the Big Sandy, if it's in, is what
definitely
Eric
get
told
on.
me. But if you're interested in becoming an instructor, you should definitely come take that class. It is not cheap. It's like $650. But worth it because you'll get those Swiftwater skills on top of just general instruction skills.
And that is ACA led.
Yep.
Just so you know.
And then coming up in on April 25th is the Cuyahoga Falls Fest. That is a fun event in Cuyahoga, Ohio. There is a cool little waterfall. It's kind of like there's one drop and then another drop. It's a 6-footer and an 8-footer. You have kayak next to my name. You don't know what to specify like
I'll explain
that.
You guys want another quick tip? As you meet people, so this is look at what else you're tagged as.
Kayaker XU. Oh man, that's all
I
I'm
tagged
known for.
Ed with the wrong school because I met Ed at the Xavier Pool sessions that he puts on last year, and so I wrongly assumed Ed and Olivia both. I know it's heresy. I went to UC for grad school.
Terrible. Terrible.
I took one class at Xavier over a summer during undergrad.
No.
Hated it. Terrible place.
Olivia's there now, actually.
Awesome pool. Oh god,
Yeah,
I just can't win.
Um,
Wing and a miss. No, point of this though, everybody I paddle with that I meet as a kayaker or paddler is tagged as kayaker in my phone because I can search kayaker in my contacts and it brings up all of them. And the reason it says XU or whatever is so I know where they're from in case I haven't seen them for a while. But the other thing I do is put their state in there. And that way when you're traveling, like I've lived out of vehicles before, you can just search on your contacts kayaking in whatever state and those people pop up. So all you Ohio paddlers are in my phone if I have your number as kayaker Ohio or Dayton, Ohio or Cincinnati, Ohio. You can subdivide it, but it's just easy organization for finding people.
For the Cuyahoga Falls Fest, newbies, like if depends on newbie how. I would say no. If you've never run a waterfall before, but you're a solid class 3-4-ish paddler, I would say you could probably do it.
We're talking about Ohio Falls?
The Cuyahoga Falls.
Oh, Cuyahoga Falls? No.
Yeah. Never mind. No newbies.
Not during the race.
It's not a race anymore. It's
Or
just,
event. I wouldn't recommend it because it's early in the year.
Yeah.
And last year the level blew up, which creates all kinds of issues even for everyone. But if you're brand new to waterfalls, it is a double drop. Like there's the initial drop and then you're into a move you need to make to get away from a sieve on River Right. So it's not a good one to swim. There's a lot better first waterfalls like Rattlesnake if it's ever in, but
which it will be for sure.
Yeah, if not, there's plenty of other options. Baby Falls on Tellico is back in. By the way, if you don't know,
it is. Yeah, I ran that for the first time this year. It was a lot.
And even though diaper wipers there, it's still a better option I think than Cuyahoga in terms of safety.
Good to know. I last year it flashed on people on Eric and Nicole and Chris Green, and Eric and Nicole swam. So
it would have been me too if Eric hadn't sent me a 130 text like, "Don't do it, it's too high."
Should tell you how hard it is that Mr. Ohio Kayak Construction Eric Bartle is swimming. But it's a great
We all
time if you
swim.
have the skills. I'm just fucking with them.
No, I know.
If you have the skills, you should come hang out. Even if you don't, you should just come hang out. There's a paddler deal on hotel. There's a hotel that completely overlooks the falls. It's a lot of fun. There is
stuff to paddle
Yeah,
nearby
there's
that
an-
is
there's an
appropriate for
upper
newbies.
section above the falls that is pretty easy. That they ran down last year because the falls were too high. But yeah, you should totally come to it if you're considering it. It's a great community event. The keel haulers have a big presence there, so that shows them. It's kind of nice for them to see that the Cincinnati collective makes the migration up there.
Yeah, we gotta have some common ground.
Yeah. The giveaways we have this. Actually, before giveaways, there is an Akoi release.
Yeah, I was
This
gonna bring that up. It's
next Saturday.
It's next Saturday.
From 10 to 3. It's only next Saturday, so it's quite the drive for.
It's a ghost release, but it is official. I got the email too, so it is happening. It's from TVA announced it, so it is happening. There is a contingent of people going already, so you'll probably see some Facebook posts or other posts about it, or just text me or let me know.
Yeah.
I'm not organizing it or anything. It's just if you have questions, I can probably point you in the right direction. I don't even know what my plans are yet for it. I may go do a single day down and up. So
it's commitment right there.
I've done it before, brother.
And then our giveaways, we have our Strava challenges, which you are running out of time to go beat.
Some unnamed paddler just
Some unnamed paddler
dropping bombs on a full slice
out there setting the record. If you don't know, if you paddle from Kelly's Nature Preserve to Jim Terrell Park, you should record your run on Strava. The person who has the fastest time will get a cash prize on the February race day. So
instructors are not included in that, by the way. So just
what?
Right. I'm not included in it. We don't want to take away Ed's motivation.
So yeah, you should go do that. It's a lot of fun. And then it's also great practice for the race, because that is what the race is Kelly's to JT. And then we also have new giveaways.
We do
at Whitewater Warehouse. So the past couple episodes we've been falsely advertising giveaways at Whitewater Warehouse, but we have a new one. There are 3 new giveaways that are themed around gear maintenance and repair, but you have to buy something.
Yes, you do.
So you have to go to Whitewater Warehouse, buy something, and they will give you this surprise tool and equipment.
Also, Whitewater Warehouse has used gear.
Yeah, they do.
Don't forget to ask about that. They have great used boats.
Used boat selection, and they're always very generous.
Whitewater Warehouse is really an awesome resource that we have. Take full advantage of them.
Yeah.
In fact, we even have a paddle shop in Ohio. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. It's awesome. All right. I think that's everything that I got.
I think we've done pretty well.
Yeah.
Active comment section.
Thanks for coming back and hanging out with us. We will be on next week still.
Yes, we will.
Maybe with a
and
guest.
we're working on a new guest lineup. That's probably gonna
might
in
wait
the beginning of next year. I'm thinking
after the holiday season. We'll let all these.
I think a lot of people
enjoy their family or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, losers.
Crazy commitments. It might even be kayaking.
Might even be. I don't know.
Awful.
All right, but yeah,
yeah,
we're working on something. It's been a lot of fun. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe.
I'll let you
hit the notifications.
I'll let you make up.
I was gonna try to hum the song, but I can't remember it.
And thanks for coming, everybody. We'll see you on the river.
Take it easy.